a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man, in his time, plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, where? Then the whining schoolboy, and then the lover sighing like a furnace. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the part, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cap unlined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of white thoughts and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slip-red pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. Lesson of all, that as this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sense teeth, sense eyes, sense taste, sense everything.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fasting fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secret of my prison house. List, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. 'Tis given out that, sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me. The serpent that did sting thy father's life. Now wears his crown. Thy uncle, that incestous, that adulterous beast. Sleeping within my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my secure hour thy uncle stole with juice in a vial, and did in my ears did pour. In the leper's distilment, thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched. O horrible, most horrible, if thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Remember me.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache, the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, to sleep. Perchance to dream. There's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would far dare us bear, to grant and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fight to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sick light, over with a pale cast of thought, an enterprise of great speech and moment, with disregards their currents turn orient, and lose the name of action. Soft you now the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy horizons be all my sins remembered.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark? They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. You must sing a down, and you call him a downer. Oh, how the wheel becomes it. It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter. There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there is pansies, that's for thoughts. There's fennel for you and columbines. There's rue for you, and here's some for me. We may call it a herb of grace a Sundays. You may wear your rue with difference. There's a daisy. I will give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach! Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, good night.
Gertrude, there is a willow, grows as on a brook, that shows his leaves in the grassy stream. There were fantastic garlands that come of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purpose that labor shepherds give a gracing name, but our cold mass dear, that man's fingers call them. There are the pendant boughs, hard-colored weeds clamoring to hang, and unusually were broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell, and the weaving broke, her clothes spread wide and maybe like a wall to bear her up. This time she shone the snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creation niet even into the element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with the drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to Macbeth.
give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me, now no more. The Jews of Egypt grip Shalmais to sleep. Maidens, I hear Anthony call. I see him rouse himself to praise my noble act. I hear him mock the lack of Caesar, which the gods give man to excuse their aftergrowth. Husband, I come now to that name my courage prove my title. I am fire and air, my other elements I give to baser life. Have I the aspic in my lips? Those fall, if though a nature can so gently par, the stroke of that is as lover's speech, which hurts and is desired. Though those lie still, if those thou vanishest, though thou'st the word, it is not worth leave taking.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, on the leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honourable man, so are they all honourable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did these in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him as a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and, sure, he is an honourable man. I come not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
How happy some or other some can be. Through Athens I'm thought as fair as she. But what of that? Demetrius think not so. He will not know at all, but he do know. And Hasius doting on Hermia's eyes, so I admiring of his qualities. Things base and vile, folding not quantity, love can transpose to form and dignity. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind. And therefore is when Cupid painted blind, nor hath love's mind of any judgment taste. Wings and no eyes figure honey-heady haste. And therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. As waggish boys in game themselves foes were, so the boy love is perjured everywhere. For ere Demetrius looked on Hermia's eye, he hailed down oath that he was only mine, and when this hail some heat from Hermias felt, so he dissolved, and showers of oath did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight. Then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursues her, and for this intelligence, if I have thanks, it is a dear expense, but herein mean I to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither and back again.
What angel wakes me from my flowery bed? I pray thee, gentle mortal, sing again. Mine ear is much enamored of thy note, so is mine eye entrailed to thy shape. And thy fair virtuous force perforce doth move me, on the first view to say, to swear, I love thee. Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful. Out of this wood do not desire to go. Thou shalt remain here, whether thou wilt or no. I am a spirit of no common rate. The summer still doth tend upon my state, and I do love thee. Therefore, go with me. I'll give thee fairies to attend on thee, and they shall fetch thee jewels from the deep, and sing while thou on pressed flowers dost sleep. And I will put thy mortal grossness, so that thou shalt like canary spirit go. Peace blossom, cobweb, moth, and mustard seed.
Over hill, over dale, through bush, through briar, over park, over pale, through flood, through fire. I do wander everywhere, swifter than a moon's sphere, and I serve the fairy queen, to do her obs upon the green. The cowslips saw her pensioners be, in the gold coat spots you see, those be rubies' fairy favors, in those freckles live their savors. I must go seek some dewdrops here, and hang a pearl in every cowslip's ear. Farewell, thou lob of spirits, I'll be gone. Our queen and all our elves come here anon.
Back thou speaks aright. I am the merry wonder of the night. I jest to Auburn and make him smile. When I have fat and been fed horse beguile. Nay, in likeness of a filly foal, and sometime lurk I in a gossip's bowl, in very likeness of a roasted crab. And when she drinks, I guess her lips above, and on her withered dewlap pour the ale, the wisest aunt telling the saddest tale. Sometime for 3 foot stool mistaked me, then slip I from her bum, down topless she, and Taylor cries, and falls into a cough, and then the old Kaya hold their hips and laugh, and waxen in their mirth, and knees and swear. A merry hour was never wasted there, but room, fairy, here comes Auburn.
I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, quite over canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses, and with eglantine. There sleeps Titania, sometime of the night, loud in its flowers, with dances and delight. And there the snake throws her enameled skin, wide enough to wrap a fairy in, and with the juice of this I streak her eyes and make her full of hateful fantasies.
Her father loved me, often invited me, still questioned me the story of my life. From years to years, the battles, sieges, fortunes that I've passed, I wrote it through, even from my boy's days, to the very moment that he bade me tell it, wherein I speak of most disastrous changes, of moving accidents by flood and field, of her brave escapes in the imminent, deadly breach, of being taken by the insolent foe and sold to slavery, of my redemption thence and perchance in my travels history.
My noble father, I do perceive here a divided duty. To you I'm bound for life and education. My life and education both do learn me how to respect you. You are the lord of duty. I am either to your daughter. But he is my husband, and so much duty as my mother showed to you, preferring you before her father, so much I challenge that I may profess due to the more, my lord.
I hate the Moor, and this thought abroad that twixt my shits. He has done my office, I know not if be true, but I, for mere suspicion that kind, will do as if for surety he holds me well. The better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let me see now, to get his place and to plume up my will in devil nary. How? Let's see. After some time, to abuse Othello's ear, that is too familiar with his wife. He hath a person and a smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make women fools. The Moor is of a free and open nature, that thinks men honest that but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I have it is endangered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
I am ashamed that women are so simple to offer war with destiny for peace, or seek for rule, supremacy and sway, when they are bound to serve, love and obey. Why are our bodies soft and weak and smooth, and up to toil and trouble in the wood, but that our soft conditions and our hearts should well agree with our external parts? You for wood and unable worms.
In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair, and fairer than that word, of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia, nothing undervalued, to Cato's daughter Brutus Portia, nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth, for the four winds blowing from every coast, renowned suitors and her sunny locks, hang on her temples like a golden fleece, which makes her seat of Belmont culture strand, and many Jesus come in quest of her. Oh, my Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift, that I shall questionless be fortunate.
Signor Antonio, many a time and oft in the Rialto you have rated me about my monies and my usances. Still have I borne it with a passion struck, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine, and all for use of that which is mine own. Well then, it now appears you need my help. Go to then, you come to me and you say, Shylock, We would have monies. You say so. You that did void your room upon my beard, and foot me as your spur in a stranger chair, over your threshold. Monies is your suit. What should I say to you? Should I not say, hath a dog money? Is it possible a char can lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low and in a bondman's key, with bated breath and whispering humbleness, say this, fair sir, you spit on me on Wednesday last. You spurned me such a day. Another time you called me dog, and for these courtesies I lend you thus much monies.
The devil can cite scripture for his purpose. An evil soul producing holy witness is like a villain with a smiling cheek, a goodly apple rotten at the heart. Oh, what a goodly outside falsehood hath! Well, Shylock, shall we be beholding to you? I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friends. For when did friendship take a breed for barren metal of his friend? But lend it rather to thine enemy, who if he break, thou mayst with better face exact the penalty. I'll seal to such a bond, and say there is much kindness in the Jew.
There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. 'Twill be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be. This bond is forfeit. And lawfully, by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off, nearest the merchant's heart. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are, by the laws of Venice, confiscate unto the state of Venice. The Jew shall have nothing but the penalty.
Sir, I desire you do me right and justice, and to bestow your pity on me, for I am a most poor woman and a stranger. Alas, sir, in what have I offended you? What cause had my behaviour given to your displeasure, that thus you should proceed to put me off, and take your good grace from me? Heaven witness, I have been to you a true and humble wife, at all times to your will conformable, even in fear to kindle your dislike. Yea, subject to your countenance, glad or sorry as the soul inclined. When was the hour I ever contradict your desire, or made it not mine too? Sir, call to mind that I have been your wife in disobedience upward of 20 years, and have been blessed with many children by you. Shut door upon me. I will implore you. If not, in the name of God, your pleasure be fulfilled.
Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshals me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Word to the heat of deeds to cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Out, damn spot! Out, I say! 1, 2, why then, 'tis time to do't. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a feared? What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more on that, my lord, no more on that. Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh!
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty, according to my bond, no more nor less. Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as I right fit. Obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sisters husbands, if they say they love you all? Happily, when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my place shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure I shall never marry like my sisters, to love my father all.
Blow winds and crack your cheeks, rage, blow. You cataracts and hurricanes, pout till you have drenched our steeplest round the cocks. You sulphurs and thought-executing fires, bound couriers to oak-cleaving thunderbolts. Singe my white head, and thou, all shaking thunder, strike flat the thick rotundity of the world. Crack nature's molds, all germain spill at once, that makes ingrateful man.
Now my charms are all overthrown, and one strand I have my own, which is most faint. Now this true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands. Gentle breed of your my cells must fail, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair. unless I be relieved by prayer, which passes so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes will pardon me, let your indulgence set me free.
I do not know one of my sex, no woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call man than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad, I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
My only love, sprung from my only hate, too early sin unknown and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Doff thy name, Romeo, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
But soft, what light through yonder windows breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, for sun, and kill the impious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou were made our far more fair than she. It is my lady, oh, it is my love, oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
A scratch, Mary, 'tis enough. Where's my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon. No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door. But 'tis enough 'twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. A plague go both your houses. Sounds, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain, that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm. Help me into some house, Benvolio, I shall faint. A plague go both your houses. They have made worms' meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses.
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares never come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo is a dish-clout to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, I think you're happy in this second match, for it excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead. Or 'twere as good he were, as living here and you no use of him.
O my love, my wife, death that had sucked the honey of thy breath had had no power yet upon thy beauty. thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and that pale flag is not advanced there. O dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this place of dim night depart again. Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace, and lips, oh, you, the doors of breath, seal with a rider's kiss a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct, come, unsavory guide, thou desperate pilot, now at once run on the dashing rocks, thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die. Oh, my love, my wife. Where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo? What's here? A cup, closed in my true love's hand? Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, Charles, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm. Noise? Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger! This is thy sheath. Ah, there rust, and let me die.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, their dad, was husband to the Juliet, and she, their dad, the Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and to the marriage her nurse is privy. And, if aught in this miscare by my fault, let my whole life be sacrificed, some hour before his time, unto the rigour of severest law.
If we shadows have offended, think bodies and all is mended, that you have must slumbered here, while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend, if you pardon, we will mend, and as I am an honest pack, if we have unearned lack, now to escape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ye long, else the pack a liar call. So good night unto you all. Give me your hands, if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.